Join Tim and Tom for the ultimate show about sports entertainment and the world of professional wrestling. Learn the ins and the outs of the storylines, the talent on each platform. Let me tell you something, brother. Airs every second fourth Tuesday of each month, right here, 7:15 p.m. Tonight, live, right here at 216 Net. Tim's Midseason exit and the Reject Big Job. Gentlemen, welcome in.
So it's never that awkward, but it was a little bit more awkward right now as we're trying to share
it out.
This on Facebook and social media.
And people can get a good look at the swag you guys got.
Yeah, take a look at the swag.
The old Raw 216 the net. We got
Thank you to
NWO, Tom's
Productions.
Absolutely. Of course, Tom's Productions, a big supporter of the show, as is Health Markets, the Santos agency down on Green Street. So good stuff.
Shirts are $15 a piece, 2 for $25, right, Tom?
Correct. Right now, that's our special price tonight. We are number one on 216 Net Live.
Yep.
We are also, yes, got to raise the one.
We are the ones.
We are the ones.
Reject Rundown. Take a. We're the ones.
They can suck it.
a 21 to 14 ass
we are
whooping.
Also, I'm pleased to announce the number one merchandise sales in 216.
Boom.
That is right.
Not
now.
only the only merchandise sales, but
don't
the
say
only
don't say
merchandise
no. Don't, why you undercut us like that? We the ones.
We the ones.
We the ones.
That's it. So. 2 tiers in a bucket.
Take that, Rejects. Where's your stuff?
There you go.
Right. Yeah.
Boom.
What do you got? Nothing. Nice. So good stuff. Listen, we just had a huge party. I mean, here at 216 Net, it's kind of an open house with Steph's books. Of course, Steph from In the Know with Steph and Joe. It was a great turnout, and people were here. You guys were signing autographs. They wanted to see the champs.
Boom.
We were signing autographs on merch. I mean, it couldn't have been a better turnout right now.
Oh, it's gorgeous.
What's even best right now, we got our own security system.
That's
our
it.
Own security guard right now.
Got our
If
security
anyone
guy.
wants to get through those doors and deal with us,
ain't happening.
It ain't
ain't happening right now.
It ain't happening.
Unless he takes a nap.
What do we got here?
Oh, that's the "Let Me Tell You Something, Brother" T-shirt.
Woo!
Woo!
Look at that belt.
What's that? Oh, that's ugly.
That's a championship belt right there.
That ain't championship belt.
Reject Rundowns. That's the belt.
Yeah,
right
we're still
there.
weighing on our belts from them. Right?
That's right.
It's like an IOU. It's like that pretty girl that you ask out over and over again, and you keep saying no, maybe not today, maybe next week. That's what the Reject Rundowns are.
Yeah.
You know, with the belts.
They conveniently stay hidden.
They stay hidden.
These guys stay hidden at 9 p.m. on Sunday nights.
Well, right.
That's like page 2 of Google, right, Kent?
That's right. Page 2 of the Google.
No one goes there.
That's right.
Just kidding. We're hoping that they show up today.
Well, that's
we did
one of
beat
us.
them.
That's one
right?
of us hoping that they show up.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, it's me.
Well, that's you.
Yeah.
Not me.
All right. Well, whatever. I like
Until
our
they
Reject
acknowledge
Rundown
us.
brothers over there. They'll acknowledge us when they come.
They better
That's for sure.
if they want to sit down.
So I missed the last episode. What was the results? We had a pay-per-view showdown, right, for the championship.
It
belts.
was an annihilation.
Oh,
That's what I heard.
It was
But
annihilation. It wasn't even close. Elaborate. It
Yeah.
was us,
Beating
24, them, nothing. It was,
right. It was a
pretty much
clash
the
of the
score.
castle.
Boom. What else?
And all out.
And all out.
And all out.
2 pay-per-views
Two
that weekend.
pay-per-views that
It's
weekend.
actually 3 NXT. We didn't even count NXT.
Right.
You know, we kind of gave them an opportunity. Yeah, we won't even count this one.
Right.
To see if they could come up with some winning numbers, and they didn't. Right. So it
Oh,
was
they were
what was it?
pathetic.
21 to
21 to 14.
21 to 14.
I was so hoping it'd be 21-6.
Yeah.
It'd just be perfect.
It would have been perfect.
Had they not picked,
Maybe next time.
had they not picked out the AEW, it would have. They had 6 points in WWE. To your guys,
And you know what?
To your guys,
And
is
in
9.
our defense,
Nine.
9.
WWE was wrong with their picks that night. They should have went with our picks. Riddle, Rollins should have been no DQ or should have been double disqualification or no contest.
Yeah, no contest.
That's what I had. That's what they should have done to continue that feud. I don't know why they did the curb stop in the middle of the ring. And McIntyre should have won at the end of the night.
Yeah, to be honest, I don't even remember the results, but it was fun. It was a fun weekend because there was 3 big events, and honestly,
Labor Day weekend.
I wish we would have counted NXT at that time because they put on a show.
They did. That was probably the best show.
It probably was the best overall. They did really, really good.
Because I think the match of the weekend was Gunther Sheamus.
Oh,
which
yeah,
look,
easy.
Hey, it was a great match, but I don't know when we decided that chest chops and face punches were what determines a good match in wrestling.
I think it was more the crowd interaction and with what they were doing.
Okay.
Right. Way back.
Fair enough.
Horsemen. Yeah.
Fair enough. And obviously Ric Flair with his chest chop, it's iconic. Woo! But basically what was told to us is if you chest chop someone 24 times and you get chest chopped 24 times back and you start slapping the crap out of each other, that's a 5-star match. And I don't know. Bret Hart never did stuff like that.
No, Bret Hart actually wrestled.
Right, actually wrestled. So chest chops and forearms to the face. All of a sudden, that equates to a great wrestling match. I don't know.
It was the home country for or home territory for both of them.
I get it.
The first time the Intercontinental Champion was actually on a pay-per-view in
long
2 years?
time.
It feels like. But I mean, for that, the crowd support, the energy that you felt with that.
Yeah.
And Sheamus too, trying to go for the Grand Slam. Never had the Intercontinental Championship.
Yeah, but he didn't get it.
But he didn't get it. But still, is that, which was funny that weekend because that's what I mentioned last show. Is besides Gunther, none of the Europeans won any of their matches.
I didn't pay attention to where they came from.
Right. But then that's kind of the funny thing. I was like, none of the Europeans won. I was like, wow.
Yeah, it was a great wrestling weekend, but that was weeks ago. So obviously,
Labor Day weekend.
Things have happened since
then.
then.
Stuff has happened where we had the whole CM Punk falling out with the Young Bucks after their post scrum show, and then they had the suspensions going on are announced, and then I think our recent thing now with AEW was Bryan Danielson versus Moxley for a championship. Since we were last
Which
on.
Moxley won.
Which I think they said, okay, we'll make you the champion with Punk out. We were supposed to schedule you for 6 weeks out for vacation. Here's the belt. Be happy.
Yeah. So let me first apologize for my slurring speech as our producer has fed me. What kind of shots did we have today?
So we had some Smoky Mountain moonshine. We had a white chocolate strawberry and a banana pudding.
That and some blue rum stuff that I had in the other
room. Oh, well, yeah, that was.
I don't even know what that was, but I can feel it now.
Here it comes.
So I'm like, blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think it was the secondhand smoke I got.
Maybe
from
it was
Joe.
The excitement from my 21/6 the net T-shirt that's on. Hooked us up with.
You went with the NWO.
I did for life.
Style for life.
I went
baby.
with the original or second Raw logo.
Yeah, I like
the
it
Raw's
too.
Jericho.
And of course, we've got.
Our homage to Stone Cold Steve Austin.
Which you can't really see on the monitor right now.
No, not right now. We'll get it up there.
You can find it on social media, though. I did post our pictures.
The rejects say, hey, guys.
No. They're ignored.
We'll just
they know what they have to do if they want to be on our show. So if they want any questions answered.
But hang on. They do have a legitimate question, we'll get to there. We'll get there.
After they show up.
You don't get to
trump the agenda when you're losers of the event.
Timothy created this nice long list that we were going over in our own rundown, not the reject rundown.
Right.
Our own rundown.
We're not rejects over here. So first things
champions.
First, we had Saraya, or Paige, as she was known in WWE, return. Yeah. She made her big return to AEW. Now I know Tom was very excited about that.
I was very excited in more ways than one.
He couldn't barely even hide it.
Couldn't stand up.
He couldn't stand up. To me, again, Paige, she is definitely a female who initiated the women's revolution, right? So she was awesome.
Post-divas.
Loved the movie. What's the movie called?
Fighting with My Family.
Produced by the man, The Rock. Great movie, great story. Her brother is totally riding her coattails right now, trying to get an AEW. Mm-hmm. So she made her return on Wednesday.
Right.
To Grand Slam. And how does AEW fans feel about that, Tom?
I would say, as a self-proclaimed AEW #1 fan on this show, I don't even know if it's self-proclaimed, but I can't even talk right now. Anyway, Steph's magic juice is working right now.
AEW will always be number 2.
That's because we're the shit. So
okay.
But yeah, so for as an AEW fan with Paige coming back, I mean, that helps their women's division immensely, whether she does get cleared to wrestle, which my hunch is she will.
Mm-hmm.
Daniel Bryan's been cleared. Edge has been cleared in the past. I think she will make an in-ring return because they do even have her listed in her stats, singles, tag, trios record. So I think it's just a matter of when, not if. And she can really help a bunch of those green wrestlers perform in the future.
Hang on. So. Old man RJ.
Yeah, old man.
Stop by.
Hey, he's one of the Jacks. He's the old man on the rejects.
What they say, Ken?
So he says, just stop by from work just to say, you go chop those rejects. You chop them good.
And he's one of them.
He's one of them.
All right. Well, Tom will be doing the chopping.
Lay the smack us down on their candy asses.
Ooh, there you go. So saith. So saith.
All right. So back to Paige. So her return.
No, Saraya.
And she even said pronounced Saraya on Twitter. But I was excited. As soon as I heard the music, I'm like, it's Paige. Right. I was like sitting there watching with Sally because I hate to admit it, but I do watch AEW for the sake of this show. And just to dig at Tom.
But then he'll go, oh, did you see this? Did you see that? And
someone's got to see it because this guy ain't watching it.
Your new name right now is going to be Negatimothy.
Negatimothy.
Whenever you watch AEW, that's what we call you.
Negatimothy.
Sweet. Maybe I'll make you a shirt too.
That's it. That's great.
I'll take it. Anyways, I was excited to see her.
Your Crocs be strapped on though.
With my Crocs strapped
on?
With
the Crocs, yeah.
All right. We'll have to elaborate at some point.
Put them in sport mode. Put them in sport mode.
Dude, when the Crocs are strapped on, it's business.
I know it's business.
Anyhow, so Paige's return, I was excited to see her, but I was not excited to see everyone flee the ring and for her to stand there by herself because that was a red flag. She's not cleared to wrestle. She's not cleared to even touch anybody. So what is she really doing other than the excitement, right? So if she continues to go down this route and doesn't have a match in the near future within the next couple of weeks, it's going to be one of those sparks for the week, but then dud.
See, I would even be fine where if she creates her own little female stable or even a co-mixed stable with the men or whatever, where she's the mouthpiece, the spokesman.
But look, hang on. I'm
eventually,
her stable's going to suck though, because Athena sucks. No. Tony Storm sucks.
Tony Storm doesn't suck.
Sweet to look at. Dude, she's not good. She's not good. So she's creating a stable of wrestlers who are not good. And then if she can't wrestle,
that's the point. That's where.
But if she can't wrestle, and then arguably one of the most injury-prone divisions in the entirety of wrestling, indies included, WCW females, they're horrible. And I know you think I'm being negative about it. Negatimothy, whatever you want to call it. It's all good. I'll die with that name. I'm telling you, the female division is horrible. In AEW, they suck.
Well, that's what I was hoping.
and they proved it. The next Dynamite or Rampage after
right now,
someone botching a table shot where she misses the table almost completely and damn near breaks her neck. Jamie Hayter, I think.
Yeah, I won't disagree with that.
See,
but I mean, WWE, their women, for the most part, have a better roster.
Sure.
However, you still have Shotzi and some others where they're botching and you watch them waiting forever and a day to set up their move.
Sure.
But WWE does a better job, like you said before, camera angles.
I have said that.
So, yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Hey.
I'm agreeing.
Absolutely. So, look, WWE gets a lot of crap for switching camera angles 100 times during a match. The reason why they do that, though, is to hide the botches. They hide the mistakes.
Hide the wrestler from moving into place.
So AEW is not enough. Maybe as much as we want to believe, but maybe not in a financial position to have those different camera
Have the
angles,
extra
switching.
Position hiring,
right?
Technical director.
So what we see, particularly in the women's division in WWE, what looks to be like great female wrestlers, when they leave or they get released, and everyone is like, "What the hell? She's so good." Ruby Riott, Athena, whoever you want, Toni Storm, they're so awesome in WWE. What we don't see as the fan, we don't see their botches and their mistakes because WWE switches camera angles frequently to hide that. So you don't see that. But the people in the back are seeing the botches and the mistakes. So they're like, you know what? Ruby Riott, Toni Storm, you suck. Like, we're going to release you. Go be with AEW if you want. But AEW doesn't switch the camera angles. So you see all their botches and mistakes. And it exposes them to being bad wrestlers, which you didn't think they were in WWE because they hide it so well. But the people in the back of WWE, they see it. So all that's happening right now is Paige, big name, even though Saraya is not known to anybody, but Paige is. She goes to AEW and creates legitimacy to their roster, but she is entering one of the most botch-full wrestling divisions in all of wrestling, indie included, in AEW females, because on camera they botch and they mess up and they hurt people.
Or did you see the meme going around where Paige is Bret Hart and Jade is Goldberg?
I didn't see that, but yeah,
that's the future. What
elaborate. What did Goldberg do?
So Goldberg was a very green wrestler when he first started. His first couple of years, Kent's favorite guy.
That's it. Love the bird.
The guy that ended my hero's pretty much wrestling career. I don't count the whole WrestleMania 26 return. That doesn't count. But so Brett was always worried that, like, and told Goldberg, like, don't hurt me. Like, I'll take care of you, whatever. Like, just don't do it. And Goldberg just went full force kick right in the head on Brett. Concussed him right then and there, pretty much ended Brett's career. He was one of the greatest, safest workers ever in the history of the business. And safest worker meaning that he never sent anyone to the hospital. He
protected everybody.
Even guys like, he had animosity towards Shawn Michaels, whatever.
Almost as good as like The Miz, for example. As far as safe worker, who has The Miz hurt? 0 people. So Bret Hart was almost as good as The Miz.
Bret Hart was almost as good. Bret Hart never hurt anyone.
Hey, The Miz is 2-time. What do you call it? What do you call the guy that wins all the championships at least once? Grand Slam. So Miz is the only 2-time Grand Slam championship winner, which surpasses Bret Hart. Correct?
Give him his shirt back.
I'm sorry. Thank you for the shirts, Tom. I appreciate Tom's productions with these shirts. We have obviously touched on a touchy subject here with Tom.
We've already been over the whole bastardizing of Bret Hart with the CM junk, the Second City shithead. And now you're doing this too to me?
Well, it's actually leading to CM Punk. Actually.
No, so the Second City
shithead.
Well, whatever.
It's a good
Second City shithead. So I'm actually it's a segue. And I want to get you riled up because I want to talk about CM Punk.
Fuck that guy.
And look, Tom Odell is a God-fearing. He believes, he believes. And this guy is like, fuck that guy.
All right. He's a father.
So that means there's a lot there.
I think Christ would say the same thing.
Hey, Christ, Vince, I think, booked him to say that one time.
Because you want to talk about a guy who makes Mick Foley's matches look weak. I mean, Christ, he was hardcore, dude. I mean, barbed wire, and thorns, and you name it. He got beat with it.
He did. He took a licking and kept on ticking. I mean, here he is. But
the original.
So I don't mean to get you all riled up, Tom, but I do want to talk about CM Punk. So CM Punk, because what has happened since we've been on air together again was obviously All Out happened
in Chicago.
And in Chicago, surprise, surprise, that's where 9 out of 10 AEW pay-per-views happen. 8 out of 10, whatever. Look, Chicago is a
It's
sucker.
It's a good wrestling city.
Chicago is a sucker for the hometown team, whether it's the Chicago Bears, the Bulls, or CM Punk. They are all in.
They were even hosted before.
Sure.
CM
Look,
Punk.
Chicago is a well-known wrestling city.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay, so you can put garbage in front of Chicago; they're gonna love it.
Yeah.
As been proven with the Chicago Bears for years and years and years. I'm sorry
Ashley,
for anyone in the room who may have been.
Ashley gives shout outs to say those shirts look great.
Oh, thank you, Ashley. She helped with some of the designing with that.
Oh, awesome.
Woo.
Sweet.
Talking about.
Thank you for helping with the design. They are $15 each or two for
25.
Oh, free for Ashley. But.
That's right.
Just kidding. But all right. So CM Punk goes out, wins the championship in Chicago, and then proceeds to eat a box of muffins from Mindy's Muffins.
Mindy's Muffins.
And contrary to when he first appeared in AEW, where he says, I'm here because the younger guys in the back, I wanted the younger talent in the back when I was here. I wanted to put these guys over. Which means basically lose to them, bring up that the younger talent's character to championship level. And I want to do what I can to have a hand in their success, to, after All Out, saying, I'm old and I'm fucking tired and I work with a bunch of children and I'm sick and tired of it. While he's eating his muffins. So almost a year to the date.
Almost a year to the date.
All right.
But you're also missing one key thing to what he's also said with the whole Sasha Banks and Naomi thing about being there for your coworkers and staying up and supporting them. That bastard did the complete opposite. He's a piece of shit.
He did the opposite. So he basically,
whether it's a work or not, piece of shit.
He buried the company. He didn't just go out of his way to bury his opponent, to say John Moxley is a piece of crap and I deserve to beat him every day, twice on Sundays, whatever it is, which most professional wrestlers would take the time to do. That guy sucks. I should have kicked his ass. I'll kick his ass any day of the week. What he did was completely disregarded Moxley as a wrestler. Didn't even mention him. And started to go in personal issues and company issues on a live microphone with the president and the owner of the company sitting right next to him, nodding his head in stupidity agreement, which basically turned into, hey, you're talking shit about me in the back. I'm going to confront you. Turned into a brawl, supposedly. Who knows what's a work and what's not.
Well, they've all agreed that Punk did throw the first punch. And now his side of the story has changed a little bit.
Punch, though. He swings like a grandma. So he ain't hit nobody.
Even worse.
He may have thrown the first punch, but it didn't connect with anybody other than maybe his own dog.
Maybe felt like a breeze.
Right.
Tyler Breeze.
Anyway, so CM Punk, arguably the biggest return in wrestling history after 7 years off, makes his triumphant
second biggest return.
To who?
Bret Hart.
When was that?
That was when TNA went live.
Oh, come on.
And TNA. they brought Bret Hart in to reconcile with Shawn Michaels. That was the biggest return.
I mean, okay. I give you that. But CM Punk,
so for
7 years,
anybody who's not 50, who's Bret Hart?
I mean, anyone who's not 50. He's the best there is, best there was, the best there ever will be. He is
Tom Brady. So he took that from Tom Brady?
Oh, fuck off.
Anyhow, CM Punk, after 7 years of a hiatus from wrestling in the ring, he did some backstage stuff with WWE, even though he supposedly hates them. Makes his return to AEW. Brought even someone like me who's pro WWE. Right. Everyone else can eat shit. I don't care. But I got to see what this guy's up to. Bought that pay-per-view, spent $50, saw Daniel Bryan return, saw Adam Cole come, saw Ruby Riott. I'm like, wow, AEW is really onto something. To see this guy become champion twice for a total duration of 5 days. Less than 6 days, okay? And to basically bastardize his company that brought him back and the wrestling as a whole, to now being kind of pushed out like you're no longer welcome in our industry, period.
And I'll admit, like a year ago when he came back, I was excited. Who wasn't excited?
Right.
He was.
So I'm saying someone who doesn't even like AEW or never even cared for CM Punk, I was excited to see him return.
But then it's kind of like you just let them go do their thing and you watch the cards unfold. Triple H, John Cena in a live shoot promo, 11 years ago, said exactly who he was.
Mm-hmm.
every word that they said in those promos, look them up on YouTube. Very true.
Yep, absolutely. So, long story short, CM Punk supposedly right now is not even being asked to return, and is mostly being talked about buying out his contract to make sure he doesn't return to wrestling. Which I think, as a wrestling,
there's all the legality lawsuit going on that they're talking about too behind the scene. And
as a wrestling fan as a whole, whether I'm pro WWE or anti AEW or vice versa, getting someone that's toxic like that has created so much disdain between AEW and WWE, because really prior to his return, there was some of that, but there wasn't a lot of that. There was a lot of people who were just wrestling fans who were like, cool, Chris Jericho and Rusev or whoever are wrestling over here. I can watch them here. I can watch my other favorites here. It's all good. But CM Punk coming back, because he was the big fuck you to WWE the whole time, he really drove that narrative.
He was kind of that game-changing free agent.
He made the fans pick a side.
Right.
Basically, like, you can't like me and like them. Otherwise, you're fake. You're not a real wrestling fan. And that's not real wrestling. We're real wrestling here. But ultimately, it was the same as everything else.
Right.
It's the same
and he was
moves.
still living 10 years ago in the past. Same shirt, same music. Nothing changed. And
exactly the same. And which I told a lot of people that. I'm like, he's not any different. He's literally selling the same T-shirt and coming out to the same music and saying the same crap that he said when he was in WWE. Because that was his whole shtick, was anti-leadership or whatever we want to call it. So anyways, good riddance. I hope we don't see him come back, to be honest, because
now I will say
plagued wrestling
they
fans
can change this. Money talks. You get him against Colt Cabana, you get him against the Young Bucks or Kenny Omega in a match,
dude.
People will buy it. People want to see.
People
will want to see the fireworks explode.
The only reason why anyone even knows who Colt Cabana is because CM Punk has mentioned him.
And also Young Rock, where he plays the Brooklyn Baller.
Come on. Look, The Rock,
and
to
he's
me,
also on all the pro wrestling.
The Rock
teams.
is the vice president of the United States. He is in a stratosphere that human beings only wish to achieve in their professional lives, and most people will never obtain that.
Well,
right?
I mean, he and I hang out together.
I mean, whatever.
I mean, 21-6 and that.
Hey, I was at Applebee's. I saw he's got a cutout at Applebee's with his Terramana.
The only way you want to see,
I feel like we're right there.
Yeah, but the only way you want to see Punk come back is if he's somebody. If he's just a doormat, and everybody just.
And that's what I think they should have done.
Punches the shit. You know what I mean?
His ego won't let him. Won't let that happen.
It won't.
They should have had him come back and struggle against these younger guys. Like, he can't keep up, and have the whole angle of like, can I do this anymore?
Yep.
And kind of have that Rocky Balboa mentality. Like it was Rocky 6, where it's like, come back. But it was, the ego, the narcissistic.
It was a cash grab, was a ratings grab, and that's all it ended up being.
You know, what's funny now is with him gone, ratings have been up still. It's been better.
Joe Turner says, just got home, tuned in.
Glad you made it safe, Joe, and thanks for all you do, and thanks for supporting our show and wearing a shirt.
We appreciate it.
That's right.
So I'll say this. So as someone who's not pro AEW, the fact that I don't have to worry about Punk being on there, I actually watch more.
That's good.
Because I
can't. And now when you come back, chime in on the show, we could.
Hey, it's still trash.
It's still trash. Stop with the negativity. Stop with the
negativity. I love it.
Still trash.
Negativity 316.
I love it.
What's up? What are we doing, Ken?
Just keep going.
He's getting ready for the game.
Oh, I thought we were doing the game.
I'm queuing it up.
He's queuing it up.
All right. So ratings are up.
Ratings are up. I mean, you got MJF back, the devil.
Hey, I love MJF.
Why did they not cash in that night? That was the original plan. That was the original plan before the whole CM Punk injury was he was going to beat CM Punk and all out win the championship. I think that was
the best thing they could have done was have MJF leave there the champion.
Right.
Beat the shit out of CM Punk.
Right.
On top of it would have been awesome.
Right.
Now I'm not sure that he's even going to get that. He's going to get his opportunity, but I don't think he's.
And what you're doing right now is not making any sense. Like if I was even them, because you weren't here on the last show, I said they should have had each member of the firm act as the double. And not even reveal them that night.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
So each week it's a new member of the firm wearing the mask or whatever, and who is it, and then finally when he cashes in, takes off the masks when he wins with the belt.
Now it's almost a given.
Right.
When he does cash in, he's going to win.
But then they had the Battle Royal was a Friday on Rampage. So now Adam Page is now
Rampage,
the number one.
I will admittedly, I've never watched one episode except for CM Punk's return.
Okay.
That was the only time I ever watched Rampage. But that being said, ratings are up. Rampage is going to go live on October 7th, right after SmackDown, and they're anticipating it to be a huge draw. I don't know at this point what is going to be a huge draw for AEW.
What would happen
for Rampage
if Bray Wyatt shows up on October 7th AEW? Because a lot of people are thinking that it's going to show up at Extreme Rules. But
no, if anything, he shows up on SmackDown that same night, and then no one is paying attention to Rampage.
Don't want to see what the Rampage
Dude, he ain't going to go to AEW, dude.
I know you got the Fireflies and the poster and all this other stuff, the White Rabbit rumors and whatever. But he's the game changer right now. Tony Khan's got the money.
Shut up, dude. Game changer.
He's the game changer. He's the best free agent out there. He was the best free agent.
AEW continuously gets the best
You're
free
really
agent.
interrupted. While we're
I don't care. Everyone's a game changer to AEW.
Not everyone's a game. They bring back Saraya. Who does WWE bring back?
Candice LeRae.
Who?
Saraya. Who? No one knows who Saraya is.
Paige. They know who Saraya is.
No one knows who Saraya is.
They
She don't even
they
look
watched
like
the
Paige.
movie. It looks like
She looks
Paige.
like Lil Kim.
All right. Time to play the game.
Sorry, it's getting heated here right now.
I know. That's why it's time to play the game. Let's go.
Oh,
Tonight, playing the game, the best of, the worst of. Are you ready for this? John Cena's best promos is the best, and John Cena's worst promos.
So, I don't know exactly the promos of John Cena. Wasn't a huge John Cena fan ever.
Oh, boy.
Well, you can never see him.
Oh, boy.
Number one, you can't see him. Okay, so I never even know he was
wait.
there.
As we're talking, as we're talking
Don't
about,
you say wait.
As we're talking about the best,
My damn show.
As we're talking about the best of, worst of, let's talk about the worst of.
Talk about the
As
worst
SG3 from the Reject says, "Hey guys, sorry, I'm still at work and scared to come over. I won't be able to make it. Both Tony the Kid and I are taking 4 chops apiece. Definitely do apologize."
They still have not said what they need to say, so I'm ignoring them.
What are they? They're yellow. They're yeller.
They haven't acknowledged us.
They have not acknowledged. That's right. All right. So, best of, worst of John Cena promo.
Look, so again, John Cena, when he was like the author of Thugonomics.
Thugonomics, baby.
Dude, I liked his reps.
Yes.
Now, that being said, I didn't really watch him too much when he first did them, but as I like fell back into the WWE network, I'm like, he's pretty clever. He's like the Acclaim dude, right? But also his stuff he did with The Rock when The Rock came back.
Yes.
Like
the live shoot.
He dug into parts of The Rock that people don't dig into when you're talking to The Rock.
Right.
And I thought the balls and the cleverness of what he said during those promos was pretty awesome.
The Rock with notes on his arm.
Yeah, notes on his arm. Then again, though, you can't really beat The Rock in a promo. So with his Fruity Pebbles and all that stuff, he came back with John Cena. I love that. But their interaction between The Rock and John Cena, can't pinpoint a particular promo, but that time was pretty awesome.
In order to be the greatest that ever lived, you have to beat everyone living. That was with The Rock.
There you go.
Right. So that was WrestleMania 29-ish area, I think.
Sure.
28, 29.
Yeah. That's when Cena talked about how The Rock had never failed.
As far as the worst John Cena, I don't know what the worst is, but his worst return ever was his last one where he came for one episode and then moved himself.
Remove because the whole Vince McMahon.
Because everything went on with Vince, he wants to distance himself. So it was basically a big John Cena's back for nothing.
And then a month later, him and Vince are celebrating Vince's 77th birthday party together. And with Vince's new girl.
Yeah.
And
so look, professionally, you have to distance yourself from sexual assault or whatever allegations. But personally, you can have birthday cake with the guy the same week.
There you go. There you go. I acknowledge y'all are champs.
Let's see him.
SG3 is acknowledging, not live.
Yeah,
through comment.
No, you can just delete that for now.
You got to do it.
That's it. Acknowledge
the tribal chiefs over here.
That's it. All right, yours. Best of, worst of.
Well, that's what I was going to agree with Tim with the whole Rock stuff was great, but then with our whole CM Punk thing with what he said to Punk back in Chicago, and he was very calm in that.
Yeah.
He was very like business oriented, and like you felt the power in his speech.
Yeah.
Worst of, I would probably say with Triple H at WrestleMania 22, because I walked out of that match. I could care less than that whole what he was doing with Triple H during that time. What was that 2006?
They didn't acknowledge Bret Hart.
Well, Bret Hart got inducted to Hall of Fame that weekend. I was at that.
And Bret walked out.
They had a poster.
He didn't even show up.
He didn't show up for WrestleMania.
So you're like, you know what? I'm be like,
Bret
Hart. I'm walking out of the main event.
Howard Finkel made the announcement. Here's our Hall of Fame class. Unfortunately, Bret Hart had other plans and could not make it tonight or whatever it was.
Did you have your Hitman glasses on when you walked out?
I did not have my Hitman glasses, but I was sure. No, I was wearing my Bret shirt for the Hall of Fame. What was I wearing? I think I was wearing Randy Orton or Kurt Angle for WrestleMania.
Got it.
Maybe from this angle, you suck shirt. I think I was wearing that for a triple threat match with him and Mysterio and Orton.
I got to tell you, I would have felt awful if I myself would have showed up to my idols Hall of Fame induction ceremony wearing his glasses and his shirt, only to hear that he wasn't going to come.
Well, he was at the Hall of Fame induction. I was there for that.
He gave no speech, though, right?
He gave a speech. No, he just didn't show up for the next day on WrestleMania.
Oh God.
Because I met him at Barnes & Noble probably like a year or two later and had him sign the Hall of Fame thing.
Yeah, I was an Anvil guy.
You're an Anvil guy?
Yeah.
We should dress up like Brett and the Anvil for Halloween this year.
So my favorite, and SG3 says, what about the Taker promos? Was back in 2003, actually, with the Undertaker when he was the doctor of the Thugonomics. Yeah, and it was really good because Taker was just Taker, and John kind of had to carry it, and he,
Well, I think he's referring about a few years ago.
No, I'm talking about 2003.
Well, no, I think what Salvador was referring to a couple years ago.
But I'm talking about 2003. Yeah. He attacked the Undertaker with precision. It was a short wrap, served as an ideal table setter, right, for their match. I wrote this stuff down. I got good stuff.
See, for reference here, Kent, what he does is during the week he tries to find something.
I do.
And I have to figure out. So he has time.
Not an actual memory,
right.
But Google memory.
Google memory and write it down.
And then I write.
It's an actual app called Google Memories.
But I do, right? So that's 2003. I was
a young lad back in 2003.
Yeah. So, amazing. But and just when he first came on, and he had his, wore his hat sideways and stuff, you're just like, man. But then I did too at first, but then it grew on you.
And the spinner belt.
And then it grew on you, and then he got the spinner belt. Yeah.
And that's all because of Stephanie, them on a plane.
That shit became cool.
Yeah.
Stephanie, I heard him doing this freestyle rapping on a plane. She's like, well, why don't you do that live?
But what you're referring to, though, is when he was calling out the Undertaker when the Undertaker was retired. I want just a couple years ago, right? A few years ago, where John Cena was sitting in the crowd at WrestleMania, basically feeling like I don't have a match. Right. I'm calling out the Undertaker to then at WrestleMania be thrown into a match with the Undertaker.
A squash match, pretty much.
But it was pretty cool.
Yeah. And cool. He started off as a skinny kid.
Look, as a whole, John Cena, though, has earned all of the respect of any person who likes wrestling. Right. He can cut a promo, he can wrestle, he can be a heel as he was initially, but he can also be the most beloved character as he ended up being. So people mention him as being really the greatest ever. And you think about it, you compare him to your Stone Colds, The Rocks, Hulk Hogan, whatever. Those guys, really, Stone Cold's career, where he was the top guy, was 6 years. It wasn't really that long.
Same with The Rock. Rock was
The Rock too. Years. Basically the same thing. They were going through tables, putting themselves through hell, where they couldn't have a prolonged career.
Right.
John Cena basically was able to sidetrack that type of wrestling to where his career ended up being long. Yeah. And this is the first year, 2022, where he hasn't had a match since he's been a wrestler.
Oh, yeah.
Period. Mm-hmm. And as we mentioned in the green room, 650 plus Make-A-Wish, even though 649 of those kids couldn't even see that he was in the room.
Right. Let's welcome him to the table. He's right next
He's
to
actually
Tim.
here. Ladies and gentlemen, our special guest, John Cena. Can't see him. He has got his My Funnel Cake Funnel truck here. Water cup. And he's actually is wearing one of Tom's Productions 21-6 the net shirts here. But anyways, John Cena going down in history. It's going to take a whole hell of a lot for anyone to accomplish what he was able to accomplish in terms of promo and popularity, merchandise sales. Right. You go to, even though he's not wrestled, I guarantee if you go to a show in Chicago right now, there is John Cena merchandise.
Well, he's even still showed on their website as an active superstar.
Yeah, but absolutely.
Even The Rock is.
And people they're still buying this stuff. Right. You still can't see him in the crowd. So
John
Cena's his all-time legend.
I don't know about his business team and his act, but I mean, he's done some good things in Hollywood, TV shows. He's done, movies.
Well, that's where the whole feud with The Rock. The first year, that was real heat between the two.
Yeah,
because Rock was the part-timer, Cena was there full-time, then realized what The Rock was doing and starting to pave way for these guys to have a career outside of wrestling.
Yeah,
and actually helped Cena with his movie career. And I know, right now, they were talking about helping Becky Lynch with hers to kind of transition her out eventually soon. But I mean, it was the whole he was the second coming of Hulk Hogan.
Mm-hmm. Truly.
He never turned bad. Hogan
Right.
was never bad in WWF.
Right.
Except for a time NWO came back, but
sure,
crowd still loved him. Cena, the older fans want him bad again. They want him the Thugonomics.
Sure.
Vince refused, Cena refused because just the merchandise.
He came out one time in recent years rapping, and I don't know if it was a SummerSlam or what it was, but basically I was like, oh crap, is he coming back like this? But it was just a one-night deal.
Was that with Bray?
I think so. Quick shout out to John Cena, though, in his acting career. If you've never seen it, the movie Blockers, which is short for cock blockers. Basically, he's a father trying to prevent his daughter on homecoming or prom night from having sex. But if you want to see John Cena outside of his John Cena character, that's definitely a movie to check out. It's funny and definitely has him in some predicaments that you wouldn't otherwise envision.
But I think
John
his first
Cena.
movie was actually Trainwreck with Amy Schumer.
Oh, yeah, I think so.
And he was very funny in there.
Not a big Amy Schumer fan, but the Blockers, because I like
he's also on
the girl in that,
Sisters.
Leslie Mann.
Oh, okay.
She's in a lot of comedies. The cast in that Blockers was good.
Big Daddy.
Yes, Big Daddy. She's the Hooters. Hooters
girl.
Yes.
Hooters.
Yes. Anyways, check it out. It's a pretty good movie. All right, so a couple other things here. I can't believe it's already almost 8:00. Some things that I had written down here. So we got to CM Punk. Some of the good things that has happened since the last time we were here together was the Acclaimed on AEW becoming finally tag team champions. Now, one of their members is a openly gay man, right? Which is different to hear from any wrestler in general being that open about it.
Well, Darren Young was the other one. Pat Patterson.
Yeah, Pat Patterson. Though, I think it was actually post after he died that it came out.
It came out before, because when he was in Legends House or wherever it was on the WWE Network, they made it known, but it was pretty much known before then.
Yeah, I'm sure if you
but
were
not
a
as an
wrestler,
active wrestler. Yeah, the active wrestler was Darren Young, I believe, was the first one.
Yeah.
The Black Cena is what he was referred to.
Sure. So the Acclaimed, though, a totally over tag team in AEW. They have Billy Gunn as their manager or whatever.
Scissor me daddy ass. So
their thing is what? Like this?
Or that.
Like scissor? Yeah. Instead of high five, they scissor each other. Which is interesting. But anyways, they actually put on some great matches. And the fans definitely wanted them to win, and they finally won.
They should have won all out. And
they put on a great match, but they finally won. Second, though, is Sami Zayn, and his work as the honorary Uso right now.
It is hysterical. I tune in and just watch whatever he's on now. Like what he did, especially WrestleMania time with Johnny Knoxville, and now what he's doing with the whole Bloodline. He should be nominated for Wrestler of the Year.
Look, I don't get the whole Bloodline affiliation because they definitely don't need him. But obviously there's going to be a screw up that's going to happen here in the future. That's either going to cost the Usos their tag team championships or Roman his undisputed championship. That's going to have them all turn on him.
Right.
It's like setting it up.
It's like rumor is he's going to reunite with KO and then they'll take on the
be
Usos
their
stuff.
lifelong dream of becoming tag team champions together. So I can see it, but in the meantime, the promos, the work that he's doing
Right.
with the Bloodline is awesome.
And I mean, especially Friday night on SmackDown where Jey Uso ripped off his shirt, the crowd heat on Jey for doing that. You feel that emotion, that hurt or whatever. And then Roman goes and says, well, we got another shirt for you.
And it says Honorary Uce, Sami
And
Zayn. Which is how I felt tonight when Tom was like, hey, check out these 21/6 the net t-shirts. I felt like an Honorary Uce tonight. So, anyways, if you want to feel like Honorary Uce.
I can't make Honorary Uce shirts.
Sure.
Because of the whole copyright trademark stuff. But I can do a self-proclaimed.
Can you do an Honorary Deuce 1/6?
I could do, yeah. Oh, there you go. Honorary Deuce 1/6.
I love it.
Anyhow, so great things going on in wrestling. Some bad things going on in wrestling is actually a Bloodline member, Solo Sikoa, who came up from NXT. They were all champions a week ago, and then they took his championship away, saying he wasn't eligible to even win it. So what looked like another...
It was a nice family photo shoot.
Right, family photo. They're all holding up their belts. Sami Zayn's in the back holding up his one because he doesn't have a belt. But they're all champions, and then they took a championship from him. I'm not really sold on Solo right now. I know he was like a badass in NXT, but I haven't really seen anything.
He's the younger brother that's
of the Usos, right? So he's either gonna help the Bloodline or he's gonna become someone who inadvertently hurts the Bloodline.
Or is he the one that's going to actually go and challenge Roman?
Yeah, but I can't see that.
Look,
Roman Reigns right now,
God mode.
When he says God mode, like I know, look, it's all predetermined and it's all pre-planned and it's all marketing. But what they're doing with Roman Reigns right now, it's working. Right. So I don't feel like anyone in any wrestling organization, period, Indies, AEW, Ring of Honor, anyone is touching the work that Roman Reigns is doing. From his physicality, his look, his promos, his manager with Paul Heyman, the aura. He comes out, takes him a year and a half to get down to the ring, and I'm all for it.
And you're anticipating.
It's all good. Like it's all good. And everyone's holding up their ones. Right. Their faction looks to be like no one can mess with them. No one's going to take their championships. They're selling it hard and people are buying in. Mm-hmm. No one's touching Roman Reigns right now. And so the work that they're doing and adding more members is just making it a bigger and bigger.
How long does Paul continue to be the mouthpiece though?
So I think Paul Heyman is going to be a Brock Lesnar mouthpiece to where he is going to ride this as long as possible. He has a huge say in what happens with Roman as far as his character and title and all that stuff. And I think he's all in for it for as long as the Roman Reigns character right now is the head of the bloodline, the tribal chief. Yeah. As long as that character is in place, I can't see Paul Heyman not being a part of that. He's a huge part of that being an effective piece. A wise man. You want to hear what Paul Heyman has to say every week. I don't care what Roman Reigns has to say, actually. He doesn't say shit when he talks.
Right, he doesn't.
Actually, it's Paul Heyman who does all the talking. So without him, without one, there isn't the other. So as long as they're just like Brock Lesnar, as soon as Paul Heyman was gone, that's when Brock Lesnar became vulnerable.
And this is what's just the genius of Paul Heyman. Go off tangent a little bit. Yeah. Did you watch SmackDown? I think it was 2 weeks ago. He inadvertently spilled Michael Cole's Monster energy drink.
I don't remember.
Did you see that at all? The look on Heyman's face after he did it, and Cole like yelling at him about it. Just midway through the match, live on TV, didn't care. Looks at Cole, then proceeds to take his Monster energy drink, pour it upside down over his notes, and just throw it at him.
So I mean, it's just as long as Roman's on God mode, Paul Heyman's on God mode.
Right.
You know, and it's not one without the other, and that's just how it is. So.
And I think with Roman, though, I think his end will come either WrestleMania 39 or SummerSlam. The whole rumor with The Rock coming at
the Rock talk though is there doesn't need to be a championship involved for The Rock and Roman to go over and be a huge event. The Rock does not need to come back and all of a sudden be in a championship picture. It downgrades the championship. Like, wait, you haven't even been involved in years, and you get to come back and have a championship.
Well, now it's not that WWE Vince McMahon thing, though.
Right?
Because Vince would always go like, okay, Batista could come in. You got the belt. You're in movies. Go Guardians of the Galaxy. Show the belt.
Yeah.
Rock,
Goldberg can come back, win the championship, whatever. Yeah. Right. So it all depends on what's happening at the time and the place.
I still say Vince is still in charge.
Yeah, I don't think
Look it up. Go on your phone right now. Go to WWE.com. Look at roster.
Look, he's the majority stock
you look
holder.
At the roster. Yeah, look at the roster.
Anyways,
moving
on from that. All right. So, anyways, downside is Solo losing the championship.
Why we blocked Jim?
Yeah.
Oh,
okay.
Man,
we'll talk about that in the green room after.
Right.
Anyhow,
let's just say he was wearing, a rabid Wolverine shirt.
Oh, sweet.
Okay.
Yeah.
Another bad thing is the Candice LeRae return. Like, honestly,
that was your answer to Soraya.
I don't think it was the answer to Soraya. Right. It was obviously in the works because of Johnny Gargano's return, but it looks like it, and most people probably don't know who Candice LeRae is. Right. I had to look her up.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Yeah.
I knew it was Gargano's wife. I was giving the Rejects a hard time. And
I knew that much.
But it's like,
other than that,
come out in a pixie outfit. Like,
who cares?
That's a Vince thing.
But how about Braun Strowman, though?
Coming back, botched his first match. Did you see that?
I saw when he tripped over it. So, look, I'll give him the benefit of the doubt. The guy that was in front of him moved out of the way. And I don't know if he was going to tackle that guy, like thinking that's who he's in my way, so I'm going to tackle him. But that guy dodged him, and he just face planted. But then he stands back up and does what he needs to do. So it's a joke so far. Unless he actually comes back as something that is going to make an impact, like put himself in like a title picture or actually disrupt the match that's meaningful. Like he disrupted a tag team match. They're having a number one contenders match for no apparent reason whatsoever because no tag team in the match would legitimately be a number one contender for the so basically it was like, here's a bunch of guys, throw them in the ring and have Braun Strowman.
But he didn't attack New Day.
Well, whatever. Bottom line is Braun Strowman's return. Womp, womp, womp. I don't really
Are
think
they
it's
setting
really
up for when Bray comes back? Or they start the whole...
Thank you. So there is that rumor that Braun is coming, like the characters from Bray Wyatt's Firefly Funhouse. They all have like these characters that are kind of reminiscent of these characters that have been brought back, whether it's Karrion Kross and Scarlett and Dexter Lumis, and Braun Strowman has taken like the human personas of these otherwise puppet characters that Bray Wyatt has, with Bray Wyatt coming back as the leader of this faction that ties in the White Rabbit that they've been talking about and all these clues here and there.
Which only happens when you're at the show and then they have to release it out.
I think it's really just genius of WWE taking people's like interest or like
they're already selling the White Rabbit shirts and all that.
They are. They're making people buy into it and tune in every week. SmackDown had 2.5 million people, which is laughable compared to 2001, but it's a huge number compared to 5 years ago or last year.
Last week's White Rabbit trick was all 9:23. The date was 9:23, and it's going to happen at 9:23 p.m.
Went to commercial.
Well, it went to commercial at 9:23 p.m., but it did happen at 9:23 p.m. for the live audience.
So is it WWE promoting the White Rabbit, or is it Allstate who came on as a commercial at 9:20?
Yeah, but here's the other thing that a lot of people keep forgetting about is the American Nightmare, right? I mean,
Cody Rhodes.
Rhodes is mending,
and
he's going to come back. I mean, he's going to come back.
What do they say?
Right?
9 months?
That's what 9 months? Yeah.
June is when it happened.
Yeah. So we're 3 months in. So, is he the White Rabbit because of his white hair?
Yeah, I don't know about that. I think if it's anything other than Bray Wyatt, it's going to completely disappoint everybody, which is going to. So there was talk that who else? Well, obviously Karrion Kross had the White Rabbit gimmick previously, but also Malachi Black.
Oh yeah,
was also someone from AEW. However, but it looks like that's not a.
Tony Khan made an announcement that anyone who is under contract is not going to be let go. And if they choose to stay at home, their contract will be extended. Something similar to what Vince would do.
And then like the little Hangman character, his right leg was hurt, and Edge's right leg was hurt. So there's all this speculation, but really, and Edge already made his comeback.
Right.
So,
but the font's the same as Bray Wyatt's fonts from a few years ago.
And like the zip code is of Windham, Ohio or something like that.
Corbin, Kentucky was the latest one.
A bunch of different things. So
where there's
White
Rabbit Record Studio is based out of.
It's either like, no, I didn't. So it's either a genius way of just creating interest in the product to get people to tune in to see what's going to happen, or it's actually going to be Bray Wyatt's return. If it's anyone other than Bray Wyatt, it's going to be a complete letdown. And I think that they would actually lose a bunch of viewers moving forward just out of disappointment than there would be gaining any viewers. So they also got videos, Bray Wyatt training and stuff again now. So I think a lot of things are leaking, and it's got to be Bray Wyatt's return. Anything else would be disappointing.
Gobbledygooker.
Anything else, I tell you what, if it's anything other than that, I won't be back on this show between October and January 1st.
Wow. It's going to be a lonely show, Kent.
That being said,
and rejects, you are not invited. So
just because personal and business things come up, all of our listeners out there, all of our 2 viewers right now.
Hey, we're big in the UK.
Thanks, Thank you, Sally. And
Sal.
Thank you, Sally. And I think Kelsey
Sal and Salvador.
Kelsey said she puts it on in the background while she's cleaning her house or doing her dishes. Hey, I appreciate your support. But due to personal and business stuff, I will try to tune in via whatever I can tune in online. But being in the insurance industry, October through the end of the year is huge for us. So I may or may not be participating for the remainder of the year. But always in my thoughts and heart is this show, and I appreciate the opportunity. And I will be back before you know it.
In the words of Johnny Laurinaitis, best of luck in your future endeavors.
There you go.
But anyways, but also for those that don't know, Tim is part of the Rise Up Foundation and McHenry. They're raising money to build a new splash pad right now in Miller Point.
Yeah. So currently, the splash pad is being constructed at Fort McHenry across from Jewel. It's almost done. It's taken longer than we anticipated just due to like the contractors and the supplies. Right. So people don't think about that. Right. And you may even encounter that as T-shirts and things like that. As a printer.
Pain in the butt right now.
It's a pain in the butt. Yep. So imagine trying to put together a splash pad or whatever. So anyways, but that should be actually completed within the next couple of weeks. Our latest initiative was to raise money for either 8 to 10 what's called tiny shops, which are going to give small business is an opportunity to have a storefront location for a period of time to build their business and hopefully move from that tiny shop, which is going to be like a 12 by 12 like shed type of facility. Hopefully they can build their business and move to a storefront location here in McHenry that's currently unoccupied. Great things about that is it's a partnership with District 156, our high school here in McHenry. They're doing the architecture, the build, the electric, all that stuff. So heavily handed through the high school students here in McHenry as well. And then possibly a Kris Kringle shop during the winter months or whatever to kind of create a little Christmas themed, holiday themed area with an ice skating rink and everything.
Yeah,
so
it's gonna be cool.
Should be pretty cool. But it's been country pretty much the past 2 years, and Mr. Odell over here has some other ideas, which would be.
I put on the link there, did a Facebook thing of like, hey, who should we get next year? Who are you interested in? I put down Fozzy, who is headlined by the greatest of all time, Chris Jericho, Y2J. Their number 1 hit song, Judas, has been featured right now in Cobra Kai. I don't know if you catch the latest season of that. Have you?
I have not.
Stingray sings it.
Oh, sweet.
I think it's episode 6 or 7, just in case you're wondering. And what was funny is when I mentioned Fozzy and I had him tagged, they liked my comment.
Fozzy liked the comment. And look, so when you get someone, a celebrity or whatever, someone with their verified check mark to like your post or whatever, it's a big deal.
It is a big deal.
I've had a couple people from the Food Network because I love food. I tag like whoever, blah, blah, blah. You get someone to tag or retweet it. That's a verified member of that. It's like, it's a pretty big deal.
It's a big deal. And Fozzy?
That means all of their following saw. They
saw
liked that.
That's right.
And book them, Dano.
We'll see what we can do.
And if Chris Jericho or Fozzy would like to be a guest on our show and plead their case.
We're gonna need a co-host.
Plead their case why they should headline Rise Foundation 2023.
Rise up. Yeah, and we will need a co-host for at least 1 or 2 shows. So we'd take you in to fill in Tim's spot while he's out.
Y2J Jericho, perfect.
Sure, there you go.
He's got his own podcast.
Or one of your brothers. I'm sure.
You may. I don't know how good his mic. I don't know how good his mic skills are. So you might have to carry the show.
I might have to carry a show. I got the hair though. I got the Y2J hair from his back in his first WWE run.
Right. So. Right. That's good. Well, we're right about where we need to be for the evening. And again, if you want to be part of the show, you've got anything interesting you want to add to, let me tell you something, brother. Reach out to us right here at 216thenet@gmail.com or check out Tom's Productions because, well, that's Tom and it's his productions. And if you're looking for any Medicare advice, if you're looking for, of course, all the people who know who Bret Hart is, you're probably in the mood. You probably need Medicare
right now.
Reach out to the Health Market Santos Agency, best around. They'll give you all the information you need that you can make a good decision. Tomorrow morning, come back for Innovative Strategies right here with Bill Hasse, and at 12:30 we've got questions you never thought you could ask.
You could skip that show. Just watch our rerun.
Oh, for the sake of 216, do not skip that.
That's
show.
right.
Please,
like, follow, subscribe, everything we got.
Don't worry, the shirt above my head will cover my brother's face.
There you go. There you go. For all of us here at 216 Net, thanks for getting caught in the net. And remember, until we see you again, be good, or at least be good to each other.